Hi guys and welcome to another video. In today's video I'm going to try and talk you guys through some of my favourite brushes. So I've divided them into two sections, face brushes and eye brushes, and I'm not going to name every single brush that I show to you guys, but I will have it in the description box down below. So the first type of brush that I wanted to talk about are foundation brushes, and to me they seem kind of pointless, but they always seem to come in sets. But the thing that I do use foundation brushes for, and I find them very useful, are to apply face masks and things like that, because I really do not like touching my own face. I don't like anyone touching my face. I don't know what it is, maybe like bacteria or just like my personal space. But yeah, I don't really like applying anything to my face with my hands. So having foundation, flat foundation kind of brushes like this really help to apply masks or even kind of like moisturize or anything like that. I wouldn't really say that it's necessarily like a staple in your makeup kit, but just for you guys that do have a lot of foundation brushes and you don't really know what to do with them, they're really great for applying face masks. Next up are duo fiber stippling brushes. My favourite to apply my moisturiser is this BH Cosmetics brush. It came in a set, so I probably will mention a lot of the brushes from this set, and I will try to link it down below, but you can get your hands on it. It is so cheap, and they're quite good quality for what they are. There are a couple of brushes in there that I wouldn't really know what to do with, but this brush is definitely one of my favourites. I just can use it to apply my moisturiser, which I do every single day, and then also I do use it to apply my Laura Mercier loose translucent setting powder, just because it works to kind of add that really thin layer of powder so you don't look cakey. And I have a smaller duo fiber kind of stippling brush, and this is from another Real Techniques kit. The main thing I use this smaller stippling brush for is to blend out my cream contour and everything like that. It's just super duper easy to use and it's just the perfect size. So next up for actual foundation brushes, which I use very rarely now because I am obsessed with beauty blenders. But I do think they're really good for blending out cream contour once again. And I have two here. One is from Sigma and one is from zoeva. And as you can see, the Sigma, this is the F80 flat kabuki, and I know it's really popular on YouTube. I've had it for a while, but if you guys can see, it's just kind of, it's sunken in on itself and the outside bristles are coming out. So it's kind of difficult to use this because it's supposed to be a flat brush, and as you can kind of see, most of the bristles have sunken in, so it's not really a flat brush anymore. But before this happened, I did really used to like it to just buff my foundation in. And with the zoeva one, it's more of like a round brush, and once again, it's really great for blending out your cream contour or anything like that. It is very good. Next up on two face powder brushes that aren't kind of angled. The first one is the BH Cosmetics 103 brush, and this is just a really fluffy powder brush. I use this for pretty much everything. It's probably one of my favourite brushes, and I use this to apply pretty much any powder, my bronzer, my blusher. Next up is this contour brush from Real Techniques, and you can use this to contour, but I don't actually. What I do is I use this pretty much every day to wipe away the bake from under my eyes and everything like that, and it's just very soft and very fluffy, and it's a really nice kind of tapered size, so you can really get into the inner corner and just brush everything away really delicately. So next up for angled kind of contour brushes, I actually really like these, and I do use these to apply my bronzer, and I have a BH Cosmetics one, a zoeva one, and then an Ollie and Olivia, which I've never heard of this brand before, but this one's definitely a more kind of dense brush, but it's super good if you want kind of a more extreme contour. But the rest of these, I pretty much want to say that they're dupes. This BH Cosmetics one, once again, comes in that kit. And the zoeva one, I don't know how much it is. Maybe it's definitely over £10, maybe 20. And this entire kit, I think I got for like £10–15. So it pretty much is a dupe. If anything, this is much more softer and a little bit more fluffier than the zoeva one. But I have had the zoeva one for quite a while. And last up for face brushes, I wanted to talk about highlighting brushes. I have got two that have always just been my favourite. I've never really experimented with other highlighting brushes, although I do want the ABH one. The first one is the setting brush from Real Techniques. It's kind of similar to the contouring one, but it's a lot shorter and kind of fatter, and it's really amazing for just applying your highlighter. And then also the fan brush, which is also great, but I feel like this sometimes applies it too much in like a stark line, whereas this is so easy to put your highlighter on and then kind of blend it all over your cheek. Moving on to eye brushes, a lot of these are from sets. Once again, I've tried to make it really easy for you guys, so if you can buy these individually, most of them, if you want to, but if not, then they come in sets. So the first brushes that I wanted to talk about are just kind of fluffy blending brushes. These here are from Zoeva, and they are from one of their rose gold collections, which I purchased a few months ago, and Zoeva have honestly the most spectacular brushes. I bought these in a set, and there are tons more brushes than just these ones, but you can also buy them individually. Zoeva have an obscene amount of brushes that you can buy, and they all look very similar, and they all pretty much do exactly the same thing. They're just kind of tapered differently, and they're different lengths and things, but they're all honestly amazing quality and definitely worth the money. The rest of them that I have here, a couple of them are from Morphe, which are really great quality. Morphe is ridiculously cheap. If you're looking to purchase brushes, I would definitely recommend looking at Morphe. If you're from the UK, they sell Morphe on Beauty Bay, and I also think Cult Beauty as well, but you can buy directly from the Morphe website now because they ship internationally, but their brushes are really good quality. I think you just have to be quite careful with the particular brushes that you do purchase, because some of their collections are really great and then others not so much, but they are very cheap. Once again, I have a BH Cosmetics brush. This is just a really long fluffy brush, and I use this every single day to set my eyelids and also blend my eyeshadow out, and it's just, once again, really amazing. Also, my favourite MAC blending brush is the MAC 217. So next up, I have two little detailed kind of definer brushes. One is from Real Techniques, one is from BH Cosmetics, and I use them to kind of clean up the sides of my eyeliner, but also to get like a really defined flick. They're just like all around pretty great to have, especially if you want to do any kind of detailing. These are really great. So next up, I have kind of like flat shader brushes, and I use these all for different reasons. The Zoeva one is really great for packing on eyeshadow on the inner corner or highlighting the brow bone. It's just really great. This Real Techniques one is really amazing to just kind of clean up your lipstick, kind of just pretty much to clean up anything. Like I said, the side of my eyeliner, anything like that is just really great to have. Moving on to angled brushes, I think most of these are supposed to be brow brushes, and I don't use any of them for my eyebrows. One that I do use every single day is the Real Techniques brow brush, and what I use this for is I put my concealer on the end of it and use it really to just clean up the underneath of my brow, and honestly I could not live without this brush. A very similar one, which is a lot smaller, is the BH Cosmetics brush, and also I have one from Zoeva, which is the brow line, and it does a very similar thing. This one is just a lot shorter than the Real Techniques one, and a lot more stiffer, so it's kind of hard to work with when you're working underneath the brow, but yeah, I do think these are really great. Next up, I have eyebrow brushes, and I am very particular with my eyebrow brushes just because I have found one that works really well for me, so I kind of just refuse to abandon it. And the first ever eyebrow brush that I owned was the Sigma E75. This is definitely great if you want a kind of more natural brow, especially if you're using brow powder. This brush is amazing. And my all-time favourite brow brush is the Anastasia number 7, and it's just an angled brow brush. And the tip is very thin, which is really great, and it's so easy to work with. And also there's a spoolie on the other end, so you can't really complain. The next brushes are kind of pencil brushes and brushes that I use on my lower lash line. And I have a Zoeva brush, a BH Cosmetics, and then also a Sigma brush. And these two are very similar. Once again, the BH Cosmetics is pretty much a dupe for the Zoeva one, And also my Sigma one is just amazing. You don't have to use this on the lower lash line. It is great for blending eyeshadows into the crease, but I really love it on the lower lash line because it's just so soft and it's really easy to use. The next group of brushes are brushes that I use to prime my eyelids, and I have two very similar ones. I have a Real Techniques one and a Zoeva one. The Zoeva one is the concealer buffer brush. I use the Zoeva one every single day to just apply my kind of like paint pot. And also in the same kit came the contour shader brush, and this is just pretty much exactly, it does pretty much exactly the same thing. It's just angled, but I use all of these to put my eyeshadow primer on with. And finally, last up, the last section of brushes that I have are flat shader brushes to kind of pack on eyeshadow or anything like that. I have two from BH Cosmetics. One is very fluffy and I use it typically to kind of highlight my brow bone and my inner corner. And then one is actually like a kind of synthetic flat brush, and I also use this. I also have the Anastasia kind of duo brush, and this came in my Modern Renaissance palette, and it has a really great flat side to it, so you can just pack stuff onto the lid, and also a really amazing blending brush on the end. And then the last one is a Zoeva flat shader brush. This is a lot bigger than the rest of them, so I would probably use this to kind of set the rest of my lid. But yeah, they're all really great. So I believe that is everything. I think I've pretty much covered all of my favourite brushes and what I kind of use them for, but like I said, I tried to mention brushes that typically come in sets, so you know, if you guys have any brushes in sets that you don't really know what to do with, hopefully this helped. Or if you're looking to buy new brushes, maybe you can go out and look at getting a set rather than buying individual brushes. So I hope this video helped you out a little bit. If you have any video recommendations, please leave them in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one, guys.